Welcome everyone to the first video of this new AIEP series on new projects in patristics, and I'm very happy to open this series with Annette von Stockhausen from the Berlin-Brandenburg Academy of Science and Humanities, who's directing the project Patristic Text Archive. Welcome, Annette.
Hello, nice to be here.
Can you give us a brief overview of your project?
Yes, sure. So the project is connected to our Academy program, which is called the Alexandrinische und Antiochenische Bibelexegese in der Spätantike, so Alexandrine and Antiochean Bible exegesis in late antiquity. And in this project, we do editions of some late antique Bible commentaries and homilies. And one thing we wanted to do in this project is not doing only books, book editions like we did all these years and all the time, but also do now a digital edition. And that's why we came up with the Patristic Text Archive, to have a place not only for our digital editions, but also for other projects. And yeah, there it is.
That is excellent. Do you want to show us the website, which is really impressive?
Yes, sure. So I just
share
share
the
my
screen.
screen, and voila, here we are. So you can find the website at pta.bbaw.de. And then you will have see this, what you're seeing right now. This is still a beta version, we called it, because we are still working on it, but are almost finished with the features we wanted to have in the Patristic Text Archive. And I just switch over to show you a little bit later of what you can see in the Patristic Text Archive, to the development version, because I'm just about to publish a new version next week, most probably, which has some new features, and it's maybe better to show already the new features and not only the site as you can see it at the moment if you go to the address I just said to you. So I switch over, and I hope you can see. You maybe didn't realize that there was a switch, because the starting page looks the same. And so if you are on the starting page, you see that there are some menu items: browse text, manuscripts, indices, search, about, and imprint. So maybe the starting point for most people would be just to go to browse text, where you go, so to speak, into our library and can go to the different authors we have and texts we have in the Patristic Text Archive at the moment. And what you see here is the list of all the texts and all the planned texts. So if you go to the current version, you won't see not as many authors and texts. So there is something more to come in the future, what you don't see right now. But what you can already see also on the published side is, for example, Amphilochius of Iconium, where we have one text of Amphilochius, the Epistola Synodalis. And if we go into the text, so to speak, then you see what texts are there. And the most important thing is that there are editions.
Yeah.
As we like to have the editions, to have critical editions, as this is what we do in our project. And therefore, you will also have manuscript transcriptions. So yeah, we will provide full text manuscript transcriptions always, as far as possible. And we have translations. So for here, a German translation made by me, but sometimes also English translations and all other kinds of translations in languages where translations exist and where that we put into the Patristic Text Archive. So that's maybe the normal way to start. but other ways are going through the manuscript database. And if I do click here confirm, then we also see a map of all the manuscripts which are cataloged at the moment in the database. And then the manuscripts and the more or less broad description of the manuscript. You can enter the site through indices. For example, maybe for theologians most interesting, the biblical quotation.
I use it a lot, to be honest.
And you can go for example, for the book, then select the chapter, and then select the first, and then you get a list of all the manuscript references which are annotated in the Patristic Text Archive. So
the interesting thing is you have a link to the text.
yes, right. So, and if you can, for a short overview, you can just click on show all context or on the context in the respective card, and then you see, okay, what's quoted here. And if you got interested in, oh, what's quoted here, and maybe it's an interesting text for me, then you can click on the link here. So this would just lead you to the edition, but if you click here on the link, then you're just getting to the quotation itself. It's marked up in the text, and you get the reference noted down here, and you also get the text out of the reference edition we use for the Bible. So for the Septuagint, it's Ralph's 2-volume edition. For the New Testament, we use the SBL New Testament version, because that's an open version we could reuse, and that's also maybe a very important point connected to the PTA. The PTA is an open project, so we reuse open data by other projects, but also provide all our data in open fashion so that it can be reused by our users.
That's absolutely essential. I mean, that's the greatest thing about your project. Everyone can use it, everyone can access your data, and it's really a great milestone for patristic studies.
Yes, I think also that it's very important, and it's also connected to the open source, open access politics the Academy is having to provide the data we work on and we publish in our project, which is financed by German public money, to also provide it for the users for free and not behind a paywall, to everybody to be able to access it and use it and work with it. And if you want to pay money, then you can buy the books, which are still published in the regular normal way. But if you want to use the digital edition, then it's just you use it, and you also can download all the texts. The edition, so the source document. If you go to this menu, then you have here, you can download the annotated text and the plain text. So it's or so to speak, already that more or less what you see also in the reader interface, but you can also download the XML files, which is the source we are building both the digital edition and the print edition. So the indices is one thing, and the last thing, and that's the big change, and that's why I went to the development version, because we just reworked the search interface or rebuilt the search in a totally new way. And so you have now two possibilities to search the texts. You can also search the metadata. So if you want to see, is there a text on lines, and you have a CPG number, for example. So mostly at the moment we have Greek text in the Patristic Text Archive. So I'm normally using the CPG, but I can just enter the CPG number and click on search. And then nothing happens. So that's the new interface. And then I get, when I put in this number, so I get the CPG number for 4185 is Severian of Rabalas, De Fide et Lege Naturae. And then I can also go straight into the text. But more interesting maybe is the search interface for text, full text search. We have now in the new, in the updated version, all texts are automatically analyzed by a machine model. So we use AI, so to speak. We used for this the Spacey, which is an NLP library, and use a Greek model and a Latin model. And all texts are automatically analyzed now. And therefore, we can now provide a search where you can, at the moment, search for a word, search for a lemma, or search for a part of speech tag. So I can, for example, look for all verbs in the Patristic Text Archive, which would be a very large search. That's why I don't do it at the moment. And what's possible in the new search, there's also a small help text where you can get, can read what you can enter, for example, and where you get also some exemplary search queries, which you can take as an entry point for your own search questions. And we have this simple search where you actually do not need to know very much, but you could just enter a word for a word, for example. So I inputted ecclesia, and then if I click enter, then I get the results. At the moment, not all texts are already indexed in the search index, but when it will be online, of course, all text will be there. And I could do the same search if I say, okay, I would like to look for the lemma, ecclesia, then I click on search, and then I get all the different forms of ecclesia in the text. So also
really makes easier for users to use the database. Like,
yes.
super simple.
And if you have really difficult queries or difficult questions, or more difficult question, you can take the advanced search where you have this free entry form and where you can also do things like I want to look for a quote which contains a lemma.
Yeah.
In all the annotated quotes, and then I just enter, and then I get again error message. So you see it's still work in progress. So something's wrong. So we maybe need to do another query like this. Let's try this. This is a query just with post tags. I want to look for a determinator, then a word in between, a noun, and then this with an adjective in between. And this takes a little bit longer, but then I get results like this.
Yeah.
So that's the search. And maybe going just for a second back to the reader interface, because that's maybe the normal entry point, which we've seen just before a little bit. You can see here the text. It's a critical edition, so we have the critical apparatus. You see the variants. The text, you see the manuscript transmission. So here these manuscripts start. You have links to the manuscripts. You have persons annotated and get some information on the person and some links to other databases like the Normdatei of the German National Library or the Wikidata entry. And you have also groups if they are annotated. And if you want to see the translation, you can just open it as an additional column, and this does also not work at the moment. So that's the problem with the with the maybe with the so now it is here. So that's some bug we still need to fix to have it in this first view. But here you have the translation parallel with all the instruments on. We have also on the left side. And otherwise, you could also see, okay, I want to see the edition, but I want also like to see the manuscript evidence, and then I could also show.
Oh, check the good. I never tried this one.
the manuscript transcription like it is in the manuscript. And if you have a manuscript where we have digital images available, you could also have a look at the image scans. This is only available for manuscripts where the libraries provide the images via the AIIF protocol. But when there are images available, then you can always see the image parallel to the transcription and see whether we transcribed the text correctly or not, or if you have interest in some features, okay, how is it looking like in a manuscript, you are able to have a look at that. So maybe this is the very short walkthrough through the Patristic Text Archive. Another important point we have for the Patristic Text Archive is to have a good documentation, so that you, as a user and also as a possible contributor to the Patristic Text Archive, know how to do things or how things are done. So we have thorough encoding guidelines, how things are encoded in. So how do we deal in the edition with variants, with additions, with omissions, and so on. You have also documentation how the PTA is made. So what other services we use. So we have links, for example, to the Clavius Clavium database or to the Pinakis database, how we do annotate persons, what data we use there, and so on. So we can see how it is made. And you can also, that's maybe for people working digitally, is maybe the biggest thing for the PTA, not just using the web interface, which we just see now, but also to be able to download all texts as XML files and use your own programs, use your own code on our data. Also we have some linked open data, so all the authors, all the works, all the manuscript transcriptions, all the biblical references are also in one file, and you can download it and analyze it the way you like to analyze it, and analyze it probably in ways we did not provide in the web interface. And last, if you like to contribute, there's also some information, and also something we are just added to our workflow is that we now have a framework for the Oxygen author mode, where you have an add-on where you can more easily enter the data in XML without having to know too much about XML as a file format yourself. So that's it.
That's a lot. And correct me if I'm wrong, but your project runs for some more years, right?
Yes, so the project runs since 2011. The first version of the Patristic Text Archive went online in 2019. And since then, we are trying to improve it, add more features, and have all the features we wanted to have be able to have real critical editions. The last feature was that is missing still is the possibility to quote really words in permalink form, so that if you like to cite the PTA in an article of yours in a journal or in a book, that you are able to cite it via a permalink. And if you click on this link, you will always go exactly to the version of the text you have seen when you have been quoting it. So we already provide links for the word. But what's still missing is to be able to quote whole portions of text, so that I can quote a whole sentence from word Kai to the word logos in the next sentence, for example, and that this permalinks also work with longer text or longer phrases, so that you really can use the Patristic Text Archive in a scientific way for your publications, and that you can rely on it also for printed publications, and that it's good for readers also in 20 years to come, to be able to see what you wanted to quote, or what you did quote, and what you've seen when you quoted the text.
That's excellent, because one of the main problems we face with digital projects is sometimes they disappear. Like,
Yeah.
you finish the project and there is no possibility to use the data anymore. Instead, you have a long perspective, and it seems like the Patristic Text Archive will be able to be used by scholars in the future, in 20 years from now. And so congratulations, because it's a really good, massive, excellent project that moves forward scholarship in giant steps.
Yeah, that's what we hope, and also we really try to provide this long-term perspective, and that's so it's very reasonable that we will be able to provide this long perspective, as the project is connected with the Academy, which is a real long-term endeavor itself. And our project, so the first steps of our project is the Griechische Christliche Schriftsteller, which also lasts already 100 years or more than 100 years. And so we're very confident that we can also provide this really long-term perspective with the backing of the Academy for the digital text. Because I think that's the really important thing, that we can use digital project like ours in the scientific context, that there is this long perspective, and that we can rely on it and have the infrastructure. And that's why also the Patristic Text Archive is as big as it is now, because we provide also this feature set and the possibility to publish with the Patristic Text Archive for other projects which do not have this long perspective as we have.
So Annette, thank you very much for your presentation and for your time.
Thank you for the possibility and for the option to present the Patristic Text Archive.
Thank you again.